folks, Nathan Adlin here at the 2017 North American International Auto Show, and behind me, the 2018 Toyota Camry. Now this vehicle has a 2-inch longer wheelbase, it's wider, it's lower, it's all new, and it's coming up next.
The whole design starts with an all-new platform. We utilize TNGA to basically drop the center of gravity. Driver and passenger are much lower, roof is lower, hood is lower, wheels are, as you can see, are pushed out to the corner, stuff that we've never been able to do before on Camry. So that allowed myself and the design team to make a much more expressive car. And basically this is a good view to check out because you can really see the line that goes from the tail lamp, and it shoots down the car and actually continues all the way through the front corner of the car. And that's a stable structure. It's a core, it's the strength of the car. It plants the car to the ground. And then the movement is like the movement of a dancer. So the movement comes from the front fender, through the pillar, down through the pillar, and back to the wheel. So that movement is constantly planting the wheels to the ground, getting the stance out to the corners, and just getting a much more expressive, just an expressive design. And then actually my personal favorite part is the rear pillar of this car, because it's really, instead of everything being square, we have these beautiful brush stroke lines, and then this sweeping sculpture and this big shoulder and big flare. And those three things I don't think have ever been said when talking about Camry before. They're more like sports car things. So I think we've really changed up the image of what Camry is. And what I really love is this character line. If you look over there to the XSC version, we can actually use that as a paint break. And we get the blackout roof, which lowers the car even more, right, and changes the proportion. It turns it into like a rear-wheel drive sports sedan. So this adds beautiful sculpture. That gets the car to totally change its characters.
Now there are new engines, folks. That's right, there's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. There's a 3.5 liter V6. There's also a 2.5 liter engine that's hooked up to the hybrid system. Now, the hybrid system has changed. The batteries are underneath the rear seat. Now on top of all this, both the normally aspirated V6 and 4-cylinder engine get an 8-speed automatic transmission. That's all new.
What's really cool about this new chassis is it got everything down, as I mentioned before, but both the XLE and XSE, we were able to pull the lamps back, and we were able to pull this forward, so that strong motion kind of piercing the air gives it the sense of speed. And then we were able to sync the Toyota badge into the hood like an intake. So both models is supposed to be like the Toyota badges in the air intake, so it's that kind of performance image. It's also really cool because that's where the radar cruise control is, and it's where the forward 180-degree camera is. So it looks cool and it has function. Everything's moving, everything's expressive, and it's just a super emotional car. To be honest, we worked really hard to lower the CD. So the coefficient of drag on this Camry, even though it looks more wild, it's actually way less than the current car. It's basically like Prius level.
So we set out to do this. We were looking for ways to make Camry feel a much higher class up from where we kind of anticipate Camry to be, and we wanted it also to feel much more sporty. And it's funny, like a hand assembled as opposed to a purely manufactured interior. So rhythmic layers was kind of our concept. So you see this beautiful kind of form that kind of sweeps through here and creates a slight level of driver focus. Everything's kind of canting towards them. But you see these layers kind of assembling here where you get some sense of quality and depth to the interior, something that I think exceeds the class.
What's your favorite part of the interior? Sorry to
Truthfully, when you sit inside the passenger seat and you feel this level of car, it has this real nice driver focus. That line that comes down, to me, it feels very artistic, at the same time really sporty. There's a lot of little things, but that in particular, I love the way it feels.
Now we're talking about red leather inside of a Camry. That's new.
It is really new. I mean, people don't expect the Camry to be this sporty. I think to Akio's point, we really wanted to have a distinct difference between the XLE and the XSE that, suddenly you get inside here and it's not just trim, it's like, wow, there's a distinct difference between these cars and it really feels authentically sporty.
Detailed numbers in terms of overall price, EPA, everything else has not been released yet, but we do know that this is going to be available late summer of 2017. Thanks for joining me from the 2017 North American International Auto Show. This is Nathan Adlin. Hey, don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, real-world reviews, and lots of auto show coverage.